Have you ever wanted someone to tell you the truth about what it's like to own an older vehicle? Well, here we've got an old Japanese vehicle, actually a J-spec. It's a right-hand drive Toyota MR2, and we've had it for years on and off. We've had it for basically 2 decades, and I'm here to tell you the truth about owning a J-spec vehicle. So come jump in for a ride with me as I give you all the highs and lows to owning one of these vehicles. So I'm Johnny from Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. If you want the truth, if you don't want to be fooled, just like, subscribe, and turn those bell notifications on to not miss out on anything. Let's go put the pedal to the metal and take it for a drive and give you all the lowdown and all the dirt on the Toyota MR2. Unfortunately, I'm going to put money into the transmission now. So just because it's a Toyota with 135,000 kilometers or like 80,000 miles roughly, I can't expect the mechanics to be fantastic. Fun. And go-kart. Woo! Go-kart handling. So what can you expect owning a 30-some-year-old J-spec vehicle, or really any older vehicle? Well, a few less problems if it's European, but don't think just because it's Japanese you're gonna get out of having all sorts of problems. You're still gonna have all sorts of problems. So plan on being either really handy or have a lot of money put aside. This is constantly giving me problems. This is the fourth engine, I guess. It only has 135,000 kilometers. Oh boy, so don't think you'll be excluded from having electric problems or engine problems or transmission problems. Synchros in the second gear are starting to go just because it's Japanese. Do expect to turn a lot of heads and have a lot of people talk to you about the vehicle because, well, especially J-spec vehicles, people won't really know what it is. And if you have an older like muscle car or something, well, you're gonna get all the people that used to own the vehicle or knew a friend that had one that's gonna want to talk to you. Do expect this. Expect to have fun. J-spec vehicles, the Japanese vehicles, these turbo vehicles, if you get a turbo, one with a turbo, expect to have, this has a rebuilt turbo in it because, well, it started to leak. Expect to have turbo problems. Expect to have mechanical problems, but do expect to have a lot of fun. Toyota MR2 is a go-kart, but oddly, all the Nissans from the 1990s have fantastic handling. The Toyota Supra, they all seem to have fantastic handling. This is why I keep this vehicle, but I am constantly working on it. So let's do a little acceleration and see what this is like and take you through some bendies. Synchros in fourth gear synchros seem to squeal a little, and that's because I wasn't getting the clutching wrong, and I actually have to put it into second a little slower because of the synchros or double clutch. But I am having a lot of fun, and oddly can't say that this isn't worth it. So I want to show you what my perspective on this MR2 and what it gives. Fantastic handling. A little rough though. The J-spec vehicles are generally rough on the suspension and the turbos are problematic. So flip the camera around. Brakes generally kind of suck. This has a rebuilt turbo to be like the Toyota Supra Gen 3. Tons of fun if you add a blow off. So this exhaust is pretty straight through. Hand built the exhaust myself with a friend, but all the recent motor swap and engine repair and general repairs on the vehicle, I'll show you the list here, all done at Perfect Tuning. Very satisfied with the work they've done after, I'd say, about 3 years of this being stationary or getting about 50 kilometers over 3 years. This thing is finally on the road. synchros in second gear. I'm gonna need to have the synchros in the transmission redone or do a transmission swap. But the problem is you get one of these transmissions swapped, and who knows if you're getting a transmission that's actually good. Now, Perfect Tuning said that they will verify the transmission and send it back if it's not any good. But I guess we've swapped the motor, and well, this is what you can expect for driving a 30-year-old vehicle, a classic vehicle. You're gonna have a ton of fun. It's not going to be nearly as fast as your performance cars of today, but you're going to get all sorts of looks. People don't remember or have never seen these vehicles before, very rarely, or have just dreamt about them. They do ride generally better and are more complicated though than a muscle car. So rides better than a muscle car, generally accelerates better than many, but not the easiest to work on. Now I've converted this to a coil. Perfect Tuning converted this to a coil on plug system for me. I had bought out all the parts, they installed them, because well, the whole distributor cap ignition system isn't all that long-term reliable, and the coil on plug is, and it worked great with the standalone computer that we've added in here. So I want something that I can kind of basically daily drive if I want to. So first of all, let's talk about electronic issues. There really aren't that many. It's not like owning an older or even newer BMW or Audi. However, I do have lingering problems. And when you have an older vehicle, for whatever reason, rodents seem to like to eat away at them. So the headlights currently aren't popping up, but we're on our original motor for these pop-up headlights. The battery always seems to be needing charging because yes, no matter whether it's Japanese or European, if it's an older vehicle, do expect to have batteries to change every 3, 4, 5 years. Remember, you're not driving them as much. And the alternator, they seem to be due. They don't last forever. And yes, it is a constant pain that the interiors have trouble holding up, but this is a 1991, so this thing is old. This thing's over 30 years old, I guess. And well, look at the dash, no cracks. Doors are great, but don't bother wasting your money on aftermarket seats. They won't tough nearly as long as the original OEM stuff. Let's get back and look. Now, right before we take this for a drive, let's mention that yes, currently the battery light does come on. I either have an issue with the battery or probably the alternator is due, and this is the third engine. Engine number 2, well, there's the original motor, then 2 engines blew after that, and I guess, well, this is the 4th engine. The 3rd engine blew on the dyno, so this is the 4th engine, and they mixed and matched parts between my old engine and this one, and they did a fantastic job over at Perfect Tuning. Really, really pleased with how they swapped this up. Hey, it still goes into reverse without screaming or screeching or grinding. That's nice. But unfortunately, I'm going to put money into the transmission now. So just because it's a Toyota with 135,000 kilometers or like 80,000 miles roughly, I can't expect the mechanics to be fantastic. Fun, 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 fun. And go-kart, woo, go-kart handling. Just going into the corners. Do expect if you get a mid-engine vehicle like this, do expect if you go into corners and don't handle it right in regards to acceleration and braking, do expect the rear end to fly out in front of you and go rear end into the ditch. But if you're good to these vehicles, they'll be good to you. They're not going to be problem free. You're always going to be working on them. You're always going to be putting money into them. You're always going to be having a lot of fun. turbo setup, I think it's just a fantastic idea because, well, it sounds great, makes you feel like you're going so much faster than you actually are going. But these 90s J-spec vehicles aren't going to be nearly as safe as your modern sports vehicles. So if safety is of great importance to you, don't get this. And I would add, do check out the condition of the vehicle, because with a 30-year-old vehicle, you might be buying a hunk of crap that's completely rusted out. Now, this has never seen winter. I had originally had it imported from Japan way back in, I guess, 2005 or 2006, and the underneath is still spotless and rust-free, and that's the type of J-spec vehicle you're going to want to find. You might not be able to find one with 135,000 kilometers because, well, this has been off the road for about it's been in North America, I'd say about 9 of the years it's been in existence. It's been off the road for a mechanical problem, whether it was getting the turbo rebuilt, whether it was waiting to get programmed, or in between blown engines. That's why it has such low kilometers. Just blow off the Corvette that just literally blow off the Corvette that just drove by. You can't do that. No turbo. But he has that exhaust sound. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of the exhaust? What do you think of the blow off? Now, if you're hearing a metal rattling, it's going back to the mechanics to check out the battery, light, and also to make it so that the exhaust stops rattling on the back, subframe, suspension. Yeah, if I accelerate, the sound goes away. It stops vibrating on it. So there you go, problem solved. Oh, that second gear. Woo! Yeah, I think I need to swap the transmission. Let me know in the comment section if you're mechanically inclined. Would you go with a transmission swap for quickly doing the job, or would you have the transmission opened up and just have the synchros changed out? Either way, I am loving this car, but I do have 2 European cars that are basically roughly 24 years old. I have a 1999 Porsche 911 and a 2000 Porsche 911, and they're not without their problems, but I must say the suspension is more comfortable than this. I think they're an excellent choice, but they're not as rare and unique as a Toyota MR2 that's still in, I'd say, great condition when it's running. Thank you so much, folks, for watching. I'm Johnny for Johnny's Car Care and Reviews, and I want to give you the lowdown, real deal. I've put, I'd say, heck, not money-wise, to give you an idea what it's like, not including the 3 engines. Let's just say the last engine and the work done with the coil-on plug setup, changing the timing belt, all the gaskets. That's run me $10,000. I had to switch the suspension and needed new tires because they just cracked with time. So I'd say this time I've got about $16,000 into it. Back 15,000, 20,000 kilometers ago, when I had the turbo rebuilt and put different intercoolers and modified everything, that was about, and body kit, that was $10,000. I've spent $2,000 in painting half the vehicle because it was just, the weather had just destroyed it. So when you've got an older vehicle, it's a work of love. You got to realize you're going to be putting less money into other projects, into the family budget, into the whatever. If you're saving up for a house, houses have gone through the roof because, well, a hidden form of taxation is called money printing that leads to inflation. So that's been awfully rough. But that definitely helps get my mind off inflation and gets me smiling, folks. So good luck. Keep all that in mind next time you're going to vote. And until next time, I wish you all more cars and more power. I hope this information finds you well, and hope it helps you decide to either not buy a 30-year-old vehicle or maybe encourages you to buy one. Let me know in the comments. What do you think about buying a 30-year-old vehicle? Or if you already have one, what has been your experience? Has it been similar to mine? Take care, folks, and until next time, I wish you all more cars and more power. Don't forget to subscribe to help feed and dress those poodles.